Heat wave sparks blackouts. First tonight on Our News Live at 7. Aging infrastructure under scrutiny again as Bahamas Power and Light reveals the cause of load shedding and future plans. Plus, locksmith turned drug and gun trader sentenced to 5 years in prison. We'll tell you the traffic stop that led to his conviction and how his mother also implicated in the case. Also, exploring Crooked Island. Tonight's stop at Major's Key reveals Bahamian ingenuity. Our News to the Islands series is back. Then in Our News at 7:30, an environmental crisis in Adelaide. Residents alerted as fuel coats nearby wetlands. Concerns escalate as claims of contamination. Our News Live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. As scorching temperatures grip the country, power outages plaguing communities. As recent as this past holiday weekend, residents plunged into darkness for hours on end, with demand skyrocketing and an aging infrastructure unable to cope. Bahamas Power and Light has resorted to the all-too-familiar load-shedding exercises. Tonight, our Megan Shepherd delves into the heart of the matter as BPL execs shed light on the challenges and a roadmap for the future.
About 30% of residents in Western and Southwest New Providence experiencing power outages over the weekend due to significant load on two of their primary feeders. However, for the wider community, the darkness was sure to come the following day, as load shedding began around 2 p.m., affecting 30% of their just under 90,000 customers for 2-hour increments. Senior Corporate Communications Manager at Bahamas Power and Light, Arnett Ingram.
When the load grew, which was about 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, we didn't have sufficient capacity to meet demand, and that's when we started load shedding.
Load shedding did resume on Sunday afternoon, as the unit was unable to come back on stream. Ingram admits that dealing with extreme temperatures and the demand it puts on the aging infrastructure is exposing the vulnerabilities. She says what they are doing now is making sure they have sufficient capacity to meet the summer demand.
So we have about 60 megawatts offline right now that's being maintained and should be ready by June 1. We anticipate just over 300 megawatts in New Providence for summer, which is a little bit higher than last year's peak of 281.
Now, the Department of Meteorology issuing advisories related to extreme temperatures in recent days, forcing many residents to stay indoors. This, coupled with new developments and residents adding to the load of BPL, many are questioning whether or not the power company will be able to sustain the growing demands.
I think our major stakeholder, the government of the Bahamas, is making significant headway in making sure that we have available generation to not only meet customer demand now, but all of our future needs.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepherd.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Megan. And speaking of those advisories from the Department of Meteorology, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg, obviously, the hotter it is, more residents are consuming electricity and running their AC units for longer periods. How long do we expect these heat advisories to be in place?
Well, we have relaxed the heat advisory across the Northwest Bahamas. We're starting to get some dry air mass in, courtesy of an upper-level trough.
Yeah.
But that is going to be short-lived because we expect those temperatures to return once again, beginning this weekend and into next week. So,
which means the ACs will keep burning,
those
right?
ACs are going to be burning. So we are going to be using a lot more energy, a strain on the power company. Of course, it's unfortunate that we have to go through these power.
Sure, it's one of those things that comes with summer, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we got to keep our eyes on the temperatures.
We have to live with that for right now. But we are going to get a little bit milder across the area. Temperatures taking a little bit of a relaxation across the Northwest Bahamas, as I said. 84 degrees, few clouds. It's still a bit warm on the outside. Temperatures are going to stay rather comfortable for the next couple of days. Northeast winds, 8 miles per hour, feels like temperature still up there in the upper 80s. Temperatures around the islands right now, 82 in Freeport, 81 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Governor's Harbor as well. We pick up 84s, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor Key, and in the capital. Over in Alistown, Bimini, you guys are 83. Central Bahamas, 83 in Kemps Bay. Arthurstown, Cat Island, 82. 83 is Georgetown, Deadman's Key. Coburn Townsend, Salvador, 81. And into the southeast Bahamas, temperatures also comfortable there. They have a lot of clouds down there as well. 83 in Duncantown, Ragged Island. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, 82. Delectable Bay, 81. 82 in Abrahams Bay. Matthewtown, Inagua, 79. And look at Turks and Caicos Islands. Those guys are 73. And that's all because we have quite a bit of activity down there. Upper level trough and a lot of moisture across that area is continuing to plague the central and southeast Bahamas with a lot of clouds, some unsettled weather. The radar down there is Puerto Rico, but most of that activity extends into the southeast Bahamas. Showers and thunderstorms will be the course of tonight and into tomorrow. A low pressure system is expected to form off this system, and it's going to pull out towards the east, so we're going to get a little bit of a break for the weekend for the Turks and Caicos Islands and the southeast Bahamas. But once again, those hot temperatures will return next week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. So look at your extended forecast is still to come.
All right, thanks for that, Greg. Obviously, we'll continue to keep an eye on conditions for you to help you to prepare for the rest of the week. Greg will be back in the Weather Center in our news at 7:30. Now to the 22-year-old expectant father who has been sentenced to a 1-year probation for threatening to kill the Prime Minister. Isaac Roberts must also complete 100 hours of community service and attend anger management classes. On February 8, 2023, Roberts called the Central Police Station with the ultimatum, release Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain, or Brave Davis is dead. The calls were traced to Roberts, who admitted to making the calls when interviewed by police. However, he said he didn't intend to kill the Prime Minister, but someone else might, based on protests concerning government's handling of illegal migration. Meanwhile, a 30-year-old locksmith has been jailed for 5 years for trading in drugs and firearms. Kyle Carter was busted with 15 firearms, 565 rounds of ammunition, assorted magazines, 157 pounds of hydroponic marijuana gummies, and THC vape pens on May 15th. Police stopped Carter after he was seen driving a black Mr. Lock van erratically. After searching the vehicle, they say they found a small amount of marijuana, leading police to a search warrant for his home off Sandilands Village Road. The officers say they uncovered a haul of firearms, ammunition, and drugs in the home he shares with his 60-year-old mother, Cheryl Key. Carter pleaded guilty to a slew of charges at his arraignment before Chief Magistrate Roberta Reckley. His mother pleaded not guilty, and her bail was set at $9,500. She's expected back in court on June 18th. And the health minister responding to pushback from a group of Rastafarians who are not happy over potentially having to pay for licenses under the Cannabis Bill 2023. Dr. Michael Darville noting the pushback, but said it was time to move forward with the process.
A decision was made that we would go ahead with the legislation as was, because just like the Rastafarians believing that they should not pay licensing fees, there are other groups who feel they should not be paying licensing fees. We'll come back to it, but I think in general, I think the legislation needed to be laid in the House of Assembly. We've had it out for public consultation for almost 8 months, and we've had back and forth with many different organizations. I think the time has come for us to debate this legislation, pass it. We could always come back to tweak it.
The Cannabis Bill 2023 also establishes a Bahamas Cannabis Authority, something Dr. Darville says may address outstanding concerns in the future.
There will be other opportunities to discuss these finer details, or who should be exempt from licenses, or who should not pay for this or that. I believe that's something the authority can deal with once we look close at the legislation. But we have been working on this for the last 2.5 years. There's no piece of legislation that's going to satisfy everybody, but as far as we're concerned, we think it's fair, and we're prepared to look at it again, but we laid it the way it was.
Still to come, our News to the Island series continues tonight as we discover Bahamian ingenuity in Majors Key. We'll introduce you to an entrepreneur harnessing the island's resources on our week-long journey across Crooked Island. Plus, get ready to test your Bahamian knowledge. The Bahamian Citizenship test returns with a new twist. But first, Will a successful re-election of Dr. Minnis to F&M leadership pave the way for Brandon McCartney's return to frontline politics? Our Joshua Williams has insight when our news returns. Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
Campaign is in full swing as the former Prime Minister seeks re-election as leader of the Free National Movement. But can a win for Dr. Minnis signal a return to frontline politics for former F&M MP and DNA leader Brandon McCartney? Joshua Williams has this insight.
When Dr. Minnis is successful, though, I will rejoin.
That stunning revelation coming from former F&M cabinet member and former Democratic National Alliance leader Brandon McCartney. McCartney has been hot on the campaign trail with Killarney member and former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, publicly throwing his support behind him. Minnis once reclaimed leadership of the Free National Movement at the party's convention on June 1st. McCartney, who served as State Minister for Immigration under the Ingram administration, introduced Minnis at his campaign launch last week.
Something that I've always wanted to be a part of. I had a good opportunity of doing that from 2007 to 2011 as an MP and cabinet minister.
But should Minnis win at the convention and become F&M leader again, would McCartney be his deputy?
Well, that would be up to the good doctor. But I see myself in any position that I can be in to help move this country forward, to help advance the Bahamian people, to move this country towards a first world status.
Well, McCartney has been criticized for supporting Dr. Minnis, considering the fact that he left the F&M to help start the DNA. Well, he says this.
Yeah, they're right. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. And the position of the DNA today, well, unfortunately, there's been other leaders, and they've been very, 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 very quiet.
And should Dr. Minnis suffer defeat come June 1st?
I don't like to think negatively. Minnis is going to win. Minnis is the best person we have right now to move this country forward.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, your favorite Bahamian-themed quiz is back this summer. Last year, the Bahamian Citizenship test dominated X, formerly Twitter, as hundreds, sometimes thousands of Bahamians flocked to find the daily question. This year, founder Ashley Roll tells us the test has its own website, BahamianCitizenshipTest.com.
We wanted as many people as possible to be able to participate. We saw just how positive of an impact it created within the Twitter space. And so we wanted other people, other Bahamians that aren't on Twitter to also be able to get involved, because people heard about it afterwards and they were like, "Oh my goodness, I'm not on Twitter now, X. I'm not on X. So like, how can I do this thing? How can I be a part of it? I want to be a part of it." And so we took all of that feedback, we took all of the elements that we love from the Twitter platform, and then brought it over to the website.
The quiz is also helping raise money for Ashley to attend university. She was actually accepted into the Creative Writing Master's program at St. Mary's University. And this year, the classroom has a new element, the Tuck Shop. It's where quiz takers can opt to donate to her university fund.
Every single day, people took the test last year or participated last year. It was almost like 600, 700 people a day, sometimes more. And we sat back and we said, if even a quarter of those people had donated $1, $2, $3 every time they took the test, I would have been in a little bit of a better situation to be able to get to my program. And Bahamian culture is one where people want to give a lot. And if they can't give a lot, they just don't want to give anything at all because they don't think it's helpful. So this year we decided to open up the Tuck Shop. So for the price of a salty, a twist, or a hot patty, you can help me get to school.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the U.S. makes a bid to lower gas prices. Plus, Brits set to elect a new government on the 4th of July. And the Antiguan Parliament approves permanent judge-alone trials. When our news returns.
Are you or
Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking, deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The Biden administration is releasing 1 million barrels of gasoline from the Northeast Reserve to lower summer gas prices. This reserve, established after Superstorm Sandy, is located in New Jersey and Maine. The gasoline will be sold in 100,000 barrel increments through a competitive bidding process, ensuring it reaches retailers before the July 4th holiday. Gas prices currently average $3.60 per gallon nationwide. This release follows a congressional mandate to sell off and close the 10-year-old reserve. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has announced a national election for July 4th. He chose a day of positive economic news to urge voters to give his Conservatives another chance. Sunak's announcement coincided with inflation dropping to 2.3%. It's the lowest in nearly 3 years, a sign he claims shows his economic plan is working. Sunak said now is the moment for Britain to choose its future. The Conservatives, in power for 14 years now, have faced economic slums, scandals, and leadership changes. Passengers on a Singapore Airlines flight described sheer terror after severe turbulence left 20 in the intensive care unit. The Boeing 777 with 211 passengers and 18 crew plummeted 6,000 feet in 3 minutes. A British man, Jeffrey Kitchen, died during the incident, while 79 passengers and 6 crew remain hospitalized in Bangkok. Aviation investigators are in Bangkok with U.S. advisors assisting. Clear air turbulence, reportedly often undetectable, is suspected in this incident. 24-year-old Josh Silverstone says he suffered a cut eye, a chipped tooth, and couldn't stop vomiting. He said he messaged his mother, "I love you," during the ordeal.
People were laying out on the floor and they couldn't move. They were completely paralysed. I'm lucky. A lot of people have got some spinal issues from hitting their head and then kind of connecting back down. So they've had quite a few scans. We've heard a lot of people can barely move their back.
And in Antigua, judge-alone trials are set to become a permanent fixture in the legal system following new legislation passed in the upper chamber. On Monday, senators amended the Criminal Proceedings Act of 2021, aiming to solidify judge-alone trials. Originally introduced to address the backlog of cases during the COVID-19 pandemic, the trials were initially temporary. However, they were extended twice. Some opposition members have raised concerns about a defendant's right to choose their trial format. Minority Leader Sean Nicholas said fair trials should give defendants the option to choose a jury trial. Despite these concerns, the amendment passed and will become law once it is officially gazetted. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 22nd. Then in our news at 7:30, community response. Palmdale shopping plaza robbery leaves residents on edge as 2 security officers recover. Locals speak out against the scourge of crime. Plus, a pathologist report provides clarity into the death of Destiny Hamilton on Guanakee. Authorities rule her untimely demise as suicide. The latest on her tragic story when our news returns. Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
Have you heard that sound? It's the sound of us. Since our origins, we burst music.
Most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and we're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be number one? Let's find out.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was May 22nd. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history in 2012, Bahamas Air introduced 3 female pilots, Gwendolyn Ritchie, Gail Saunders, and Frances Smith. They were each promoted to Dash 8 aircraft captains. Then May 22nd, 2014 brought news of a massive $900,000 drug bust.
Drug Enforcement Unit, very pleased this morning to report another successful drug interdiction mission.
The early morning bust happened in southern New Providence around 6 a.m. when officers swooped in on a white van registered to Mia Bahamas, which had signed a contract with government to revamp New Providence underground water systems. Authorities believe the suspects were transporting 37 packages of marijuana to another location when they were busted on Faith Avenue and Cowpen Road. Then on May 22nd, 2017.
In all things, I will be a true and faithful minister. So help me.
Desmond Bannister was sworn in as Minister of Works along with a group of Free National Movement senators who received their instruments of appointment at Government House.
I am pleased that the government members of the Senate reflect the diversity of our Commonwealth.
May 22nd, 2019, at least 300 NIB workers staged a sick-out. This as others used their tea break to gather on the front lawn of the board's Blue Hill Road headquarters to express their grievances. At the center of the issue was an outstanding industrial agreement and what union leaders called a slow claims system. A year later in 2020, an 8-month-long emotional ordeal finally came to an end when 55 unidentified hurricane victims were laid to rest. However, many families were still upset at the time at the lack of answers over identification and the handling of the bodies. It's night 2 of Our News to the Island series on a week-long journey through Crooked Island. Tonight, we meet an extraordinarily talented Bahamian in Majors Key who's turning natural resources into native products. Made our way to Majors Key, we encountered another remarkable Crooked Island story, a native transforming raw natural materials into unique creations. Florence Ferguson is the proprietor of Island Secrets and says it's her pride of Crooked Island that inspired the name of her creations.
So we have a lot of rosemary trees around here. A lot of rosemary trees. Yeah. So this one here is rosemary, and we have sage. We have a lot of natural sage too. Okay. Yeah. Coconut. Ooh. We also have coconut.
That's even more gorgeous. Her business offers tourists an authentic Bahamian experience, featuring soaps made from local herbs.
Over here I have coconut oil.
All right.
From the coconut.
But Florence has gone beyond traditional crafts, even transforming coconuts into beauty products using their oil extract to make moisturizers.
Yeah. When I came here, coconuts were everywhere. Yeah. All on the ground.
There's an abundance.
And I just burned them.
And her talents don't stop there, revitalizing the age-old Bahamian tradition of making straw bags, adapting it for today's needs. Her innovative approach breathes new life into this craft, making it both functional and fashionable in the modern age.
Over here we're making now cellular bag, cellular pouch. This one turns sideways. And this one is the strap, put across.
Florence moved back to the island in 2013 after retiring from teaching. Passionate about her heritage, she says she hopes to inspire other Bahamians to explore and utilize the island's natural resources. All right, be sure and stay tuned to Our News tomorrow. We've got part 2 of that story. We'll learn about plans for a cultural village that's expected to transform the visitor experience. But if you want to see tonight's story again, and for all of tonight's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Talia Hall is up now with the latest headlines. Talia?
Ken, I'm looking forward to the other stories.
Yeah, the other story is about a cultural village on Winding Bay. Remember that breathtaking view we saw yesterday? Well, Florence, she's actually involved in trying to make that into something a whole lot more tangible. So, of course, we had to showcase Island Secrets, but I can't wait to tell you about the Cultural Village.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Ken. Well, a Palmdale shopping plaza robbery leaves residents on edge. Plus, a pathologist report provides clarity into the death of Destiny Hamilton. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, a broad daylight shooting at the Palmdale shopping plaza leaving many in shock. Customers now calling for law and order. Also, 27-year-old Grand Bahamian Destiny Hamilton's death has been ruled a suicide. We have details from police straight ahead. Plus, a fuel spill in the Adelaide community, a major concern for some residents. We have their full comments coming up. And later, Family Islands may also experience electricity issues this summer. This as the Bahamas Power and Light Manager admits some of their infrastructure is in desperate need of repair. When Our News Live at 7:30 returns. Are you?
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now.
Welcome to Our News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Yesterday's armed robbery at the Palmdale shopping plaza left 2 security officers hospitalized after they were shot. It's also helped heighten the fear of crime. One day after the shocking event, our news team returned to the scene to speak to customers at the busy shopping plaza.
If they're bold enough to have done something like that, a crime like that in this area where I believe there's tons of surveillance cameras and stuff like that, it really have you thinking that, yeah, it have you a little bit uneasy.
2 security officers carrying deposit bags were robbed and shot in the Palmdale shopping plaza. The robbery occurred in broad daylight, causing panic among shoppers on Tuesday. The crime was so shocking that Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez showed up at the scene and called the shooting bold. He said the security officers, who work for a private firm, were about to walk to a bank shortly after 1 p.m. when a car stopped next to them. Gunmen jumped out and demanded that the men hand over the deposit bags.
When you are dealing with monies and different things, you have to be ready for these type of people. And if needs be, shoot them to kill them, because that's what they were planning on doing here.
To me, I think it was careless. Maybe from what I could get, I saw it on TV, I think the people followed them here. So it could be a setup. You understand? Whether the officers them had people do it, or the people was monitoring them notice do that every week consistently.
Others are demanding immediate action from law enforcement and local government to ensure residents are safe.
The police job is to go there, and if you don't want to keep the peace, the police got to do what they have to do.
We need to start being more serious with these criminals and have deterrent for these people. You know what I mean? And the people in charge, like I said, Mr. Monroe, Mr. Davis, and the Commissioner of Police, you know, all I hear every day talking. When we catch these criminals, punish them to the maximum penalties of the law.
While 27-year-old Destiny Hamilton's death has been ruled a suicide, the confirmation coming from Chief Superintendent of Police Will Hart this morning. The incident happened on Guanaki Abaco on May 9th. Police say Hamilton's body was found in a home with a wrist laceration leading to speculation of suicide. A family member telling Our News one day later she did not believe that Destiny had taken her own life. Social media also describes details in the initial police report as sketchy. However, Chief Superintendent Hart says the pathologist has completed her examination.
The ruling of the death is suicide. The report indicates that the wounds inflicted were self-inflicted. So therefore, we're ruling that now we can now speak conclusively that the death of Destiny Hamilton was caused of suicide.
A Grand Bahama man who was electrocuted at the Freeport Power Plant on Peel Street Tuesday afternoon has been transferred to a medical facility in the United States. According to a statement issued by the Grand Bahama Power Company this afternoon, the employee is in a specialized burn unit at that medical facility to ensure he receives the best possible care. Police say the victim suffered severe burns after he came in contact with a live wire. GBPC officials say they are monitoring his condition and are conducting a thorough investigation. Now, to read the full statement from GBPC, it's available now on our social media pages. Adelaide residents turned to social media on Sunday, raising concerns upon discovering a sheen of fuel covering nearby wetlands. BPL now offering an explanation for the incident, while residents living mere feet away assert water tinged with fuel is now flowing through the pipes in their homes. Marlena Leonard reports.
On Sunday, May 19th, Adelaide resident Charles Johnson spotted a fuel spill while on a bike ride in the Adelaide area, the stench of fumes leading him to investigate. He tells us the wetlands are a vital part of the area's ecosystem.
This is your water table. This is, this is where your fish spawn. This leads out to the ocean. This is Adelaide. This is where, when a major hurricane comes from the south side, this is what saves us. This is where the water goes when it's flooding. This is important.
As for the cause of the spill, Senior Corporate Communications Manager of Bahamas Power and Light, Arnett Ingram, tells us.
So BPL has multiple cross-country fuel lines that supply automotive diesel oil from our Clifton Power Plant to the Blue Hills Power Station. And periodically, these lines are pressure tested to ensure that there are no breaches. So an out-of-service line was pressure tested. A breach was discovered on Monday, May 13th in the Adelaide wetlands. And once that discovery was made, BPL's team moved immediately to contain the area to prevent the further spread of oil into the wetlands. And we're also coordinating with the Department of Environmental Protection on remediation efforts.
But Johnson says it goes beyond the environmental concerns, as he says many residents are still using well water.
And hearing concerns from few of the residents in this private gated community here, Shazonic Estates, some of them have well water, and using the well water, they can smell the fuel coming from the well water when they water in their grass or using it for any other thing. So, it's a major concern.
While remediation efforts have begun, Johnson says he hopes for more communication with the nearby residents.
I haven't heard from our MP, who is actually the Minister of the Environment, and it'll be good just to bring some type of comfort to say, hey man, we know that there's a leak and we're dealing with the situation. Guys, don't drink the water, be safe, all right? Just be mindful. When you pass in this area, I could barely speak to you now based on, the fumes. So, that's all we ask for, nothing special, nothing hard about that.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks so much, Marlena. Well, temperatures in the lower 90s today as we approach the official start of summer. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, we went from hail to now heat. What's happening?
If these temperatures that we were experiencing the prior days are any indication of the summer, get ready for the heat because it's coming. And we expect another possible heat wave next week as our temperatures are going to be rising once again. High pressure is going to build across us, but in the meantime, we have a lot of clouds in the southeast and central Bahamas, courtesy of an upper level trough. Show that in a short while. 83 degrees outside our studios right now. It's cooling down a bit. Northeast winds at 8 miles per hour. You feel slight temperature in the upper 80s. Satellite radar composite showing the unsettled weather pattern across the central and southeast Bahamas, all courtesy of a mid to upper level trough that's basically across our area. Most of the activity is on the south and eastern side of that, so the southeast Bahamas really getting in on some of the action. Turks and Caicos Islands, you guys had quite a bit of rainfall earlier, and as you notice that radar down there, that's the Puerto Rico area, they're showing quite a bit of activity down there as well. High pressure and a dry air mass will be moving across us, so we're looking at some improving conditions for the balance of the week. Slightly cooler temperatures, but those temperatures expected to rise once again starting next week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, those in the Family Islands are not exempt from electricity issues. This as a Bahamas Power and Light manager admits some of the infrastructure is in need of repair. Plus, the Health and Wellness Minister giving an update on clinics in the capital. Hear all about the major upgrades soon to take place. And on July 1st, Bahamians across the country will see an increase in their NIB contributions. An RF Bank and Trust executive is explaining if this is the right move, and that's all coming up when our news returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucaya solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you or a loved one under
Water this.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for...
Family Islanders won't be exempt from electricity issues this summer as Bahamas Power and Light Company grapples with aging infrastructure during peak demand nationwide. The reality has become evident amidst recent outages on Eleuthera compounded by sweltering temperatures. Officials say the situation poses significant challenges. BPL Senior Corporate Communications Manager Arnett Ingram admits the need for urgent repair replacement of equipment in some instances.
At Hatchet Bay, we're looking at getting some rental generation in there very soon that will be able to stabilize supply over the course of the summer for residents and business customers in North Eleuthera. And in Harbor Island, we're making significant progress and repairing that submarine cable so that would be able to get power, but Harbor Island would be able to get power from mainland Eleuthera in some cases. And we're also looking at the rental generations that we have there, making sure that's a little bit more robust and able to handle the load on the island.
Well, we're on track to creating a healthier Bahamas through medical care. That's according to Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville, who says there's been progress when it comes to ensuring clinics are upgraded.
Our clinics in New Providence, in a few weeks, I will have the completed version of the Anstown Clinic fully renovated, fully ready to go, fully staffed to provide primary health care services for individuals in that community. They are cleaning the clinic at Blue Hills to provide pediatric and adolescent health care service to improve our immunization program at the Blue Hills Clinic.
Well, in just a few weeks, Bahamians across the country will see an increase in their NIB contributions. Government has announced that the NIB rate will be increased by 1.5% come July 1st. There have been mixed views on the rate hike. Some say it's necessary, while some union leaders are concerned, as they say the rate hike will possibly impact minimum wage workers. Vice President of Group Head Investment at RF Bank and Trust, David Slatter, is giving his take on the rate hike and says he believes this move is necessary in order for the country to advance.
If you go back in time, it was supposed to be a pension scheme. It was supposed to be a national pension scheme, but of course it's become a national social welfare scheme. All right, so the mandate of NIB has been expanded to include maternity support, a whole variety of things other than just for individual pensions. NIB gives out more than it takes in, right? So if you look at contributions, you look at return on the investment portfolio, those two are less than what they're actually paying out. So unless they increase the contribution amount, it will in effect become insolvent. So this has to be done. There's no choice. Or you can have what's paid out go down. So we've got a choice. There's no free lunch. If you want to continue to have the benefits that are being paid out, the contributions have to go up to offset. So the U.S. has the same situation. They're going to get to the point where they can no longer fund their social, what do they call it, Social Security and Medicaid, unless they increase taxations or they reduce what people receive. So this is not unique to the Bahamas, but it's kind of inevitable that the rates have to go up, unfortunately.
When our news comes back from the break, should the country implement anchoring regulations around New Providence following a boating accident? The Environmental Planning and Protection Director speaks.
Coming up in sports, several members of the 2024 international signing class take the field for the first time in the Dominican Republic.
And temperatures heating up in the capital on this Wednesday. Greg is back with more weather details right after this quick break. Stay with us.
At Koshright, this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking, deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is Our News. Welcome back. The country's newest professional baseball players take to the field for the first time as they begin their careers in the Dominican Republic. Here now with Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Marknut.
Thanks, Italia, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. The International Elite Sports Academies class of 2024 has made the transition to the field. Bohan Adderley of the New York Mets, Javado Bain of the Toronto Blue Jays, and Rashawn Pinder of the Texas Rangers have begun exhibition play for the Dominican Summer League. Each of the three players have been strong on the offensive end thus far and look forward to the transition once their professional careers officially begin.
Everyday practice, it was never something where we fell short. It was just always something we was doing to get better every day, and just chasing that goal.
The hidden drills, I take some of them to the field here that we use in the DR. It's pretty good. Some step back drills, some plyo ball drills, water bag drills, some new stuff.
Yeah, like the class of last year, I practice every day. I practice every day with them. So in my head, I was like, if they can make it, I could do it. It's all about creating a bond with your teammates and the whole organization.
Sebastian Walcott homered for the third time this season in High A baseball. Walcott opened his Hickory Crawdad series with the Asheville Tourists with a 2-run home run. His home run came in the 7th inning of an 8-5 loss last night at LP France Stadium. On the season, Walcott is hitting .192 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 23 hits, and a .647 OPS. The Crawdads are 14-26 on the season and look to even the series tonight.
While we're on home runs, BJ Murray's insane stat line from last week earned him a spot on MLB Pipeline's Prospect Team of the Week. Murray, ranked as the Chicago Cubs' number 11 prospect, homered 3 times and ended the week with a .474 batting average. The 24-year-old infielder worked his way out of a slump in the most impactful way. He homered on May 15th and returned on May 16th with a pair of home runs in the series against the Syracuse Mets. On the season, he's hitting .200 with 5 home runs and 20 RBI for the Iowa Cubs in AAA.
Kentwan Smith's second season with BC Luella in Sweden has earned him a Eurobasket award. Smith was named to the SBL All-Imports team and was an SBL honorable mention. He averaged 12.2 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks per game by Eurobasket.com. Smith has been active on the international level throughout his pro career that has taken him to 6 different countries on 3 different continents. At the national team level, Smith was most recently a member of the senior men's national team that participated in the FIBA pre-Olympic qualifiers and FIBA AmeriCup 2025 qualifiers.
That'll do it for Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. For John Marknut, I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, should officials implement anchoring regulations around New Providence? The Environmental Planning and Protection Director speaks, who has pretty warm temperatures across the islands today. Temperatures hitting the 90s in New Providence. Greg is back with more weather details when Our News continues.
Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and we're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be #1?
Welcome back to our news. After a yacht allegedly damaged reefs of southern New Providence this spring, environmental advocates, including the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, call for officials to designate anchoring regulations around New Providence. In the weeks since the incident, Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, tells us the research is underway.
We've gotten some documents from our researchers. It is very important that any decision that is made is governed and driven by science. And so we're reviewing the assessments that have been completed. We have some challenges with our corals with the heat that we are experiencing. They are experiencing the same heat. And last year, many of them would have been exposed to 30 days of over 90-degree temperatures. And we have had record heat for the last 3 days, and it's not yet summer. And so we are looking at some of the changes that the corals are experiencing. They're trying to recover from last year's heat to see which areas it would make sense to designate as no anchor areas and as mooring areas.
The Department of Environmental Protection has a hefty $20,000 fine for those who are found to have damaged coral reefs. And now the director tells us new amendments mean you'll be likely to see more SWAT fines issued by the department.
The amendments to our legislation recently passed in the House of Assembly that provided for us to implement SWAT fines. And so we have the machinery now to actually go out and execute SWAT fines. We have trainings that are ongoing for the officers in the department, as well as from our partner agencies that are now equipped to issue these SWAT fines. And so you will see officers from the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, not just in our coastal areas, but in our land areas as well, where there is activities happening that are in contravention of the law and that are detrimental to our environment.
All right, well, scorching hot temperatures across the islands today. Temperatures hitting the 90s in the capital. Greg is back in the Weather Center live with your extended forecast. Greg.
Yeah, 90s for most of the island chain, the exception being the extreme southern islands, where we have quite a bit of clouds. There's a mid to upper level trough that's generating quite a bit of activity down there. And this is a water vapor shot of what's happening. We have some dry air coming across the northwest Bahamas, so the relative humidity has come down. Slightly cooler temperatures. We're not getting those heat indices in the triple digits, but we are very near that. The southeast and central Bahamas starting to see a lot of clouds as that trough is going to continue to push quite a bit of tropical moisture across that. And some showers and thunderstorms associated with that affecting the southeast Bahamas, especially Tricks and Caicos Islands, and now where you guys seeing some thunderstorm activity earlier today. Low pressure is expected to form off of this system by Thursday into Friday, and that low will pull out towards the north and east. Future forecast showing most of the activity staying across the central and southeast Bahamas through tomorrow, but once we get into Thursday evening into Friday, that low pressure system forms and it's going to be pulling most of the moisture away from us, so we're looking at improving conditions for the chain of islands for the weekend. Northwest Bahamas, if you're doing any boating, beaching, pretty nice out there. Make sure you stay hydrated and stay in the shade. Northeasterly winds, 10 knots. They will fall light and variable at times. Seas 1 to 3 feet. High tide will be at 8:06 tonight. Low tide taking place at 2:36 in the morning. For the central and southeastern islands, east to southeast winds, 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, improving conditions across most of the chain of islands once that low pressure system pulls out and away from us. So we're looking for sunny and pleasant conditions. Temperatures will start to rise by the weekend, and then by next week we expect those temperatures to be back in the 90s, and possibly with those heat indices we could be putting out another heat advisory. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.